teens from the inner city of Atlanta are changed forever as they serve orphans in the slums of Kenya. Isn't that true?
The fact that he's read this before means he found this just as funny when he was sober. Lorenzo, can you explain to us what you find humorous about that?
Because they're they're so unironically sound so selfish. Like the whole description is like focused exclusively on the way it affects the teens, and they're just like, teens are changed forever. Like as if the purpose of them going to serve the slums of Kenya is so that they can feel good about themselves and be like, we served in the slums of Kenya for
Hold on. So you don't see any way that people can be changed forever other than simply superficially feeling good for a period of time?
Oh no. They can feel legitimately so happy for the rest of their lives. And
so you don't like programs?
No, listen, let me explain my point. I'm just saying it's funny because they make it seem as though the most important thing about their time there was more about what they got out of it than what the kids in the slums in Kenya.
They probably
even if they did, you go there hoping that you're making giving more than you get back, but it's as if they're already saying, like, look at this.
Why?
Oh, it's so funny. Because this summer, we will take a group of 6 teens from the inner city of Atlanta on a once-in-a-lifetime mission trip to the slums and orphanages of Kenya, Africa, with a film crew to document the whole experience.
How long's the trip?
In like a few weeks. And he goes, these teens have grown up surrounded by poverty and crime, but through it all, they have chosen Jesus.
As if they don't take, like, rich kids.
So Lorenzo, you don't like the fact that they're taking teenagers to a third world country to help the people in the third world country and taking a film crew with them in a program which is largely about changing the perspectives of the teenagers. You don't like that kind of program?
No, the program which purely serves the teenagers more than the actual people.
Honestly, that sounded a lot like the description of this project.
Yeah, it's very similar to what we're doing at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thịt kia là bánh Malai.
So, Will, which school are you most interested in to teach at?
I reckon the most interesting one would be the one where you have to stay overnight, drink with the teachers. It'd be enjoyable, but too far away. My tie's not good enough.
Okay, would you be interested? So, you're interested in teaching primary school kids?
Yeah.
Okay.
They'd be more fun.
Have you ever taught kids anything at all? Because you're the youngest of your family, so you wouldn't have had much experience with younger kids.
That's why I like young kids. I got 3 nephews and 3 nieces. I've always liked hanging out with them. They're always fun because it's younger siblings for me.
What are your expectations for the experience?
A lot of laughter.
A lot of laughter. So what do you fear the most?
In teaching or just in the year?
In teaching. I'm just testing this.
I'm going good. How are you going?
I'm going pretty well. So how's learning Thai?
Look, it's easier than French.
Seriously? Are you sure? The tones are pretty hard out here.
It's definitely easier than French. Yeah, but no verb conjugation. I think the Thais are quite lazy. No verb conjugation, no plurals. To be's not used. No tenses. It's good. There's no bloody past historic.
Yeah? Do I have to focus it or what focus itself? You should just be able to take the photo and then wait for it to start printing. Really cheesy photo.
Ani Mai?
ศาสนาพุทธ no ไม่ใช่
What about? Hang on. Kun Pen Ani Mai.
no เป็นคริสต์ศาสนาคริสต์
Christian,
yeah
but Catholic is Christian.
Lorenzo, could you please evaluate your performance in the? It's on.
Okay.
In producing the documentary so far. Do you think you've done a good job?
Producing, writing, directing,
Sorry,
cinematography.
filming. Literally just filming. Do you think you're doing everything you should be?
You know, as with any person doing something for the first time, I'm approaching it with a bit of trepidation, but for the most part, I'm fairly content with how I've done so far.
So you think you're doing a good job?
I wouldn't say that because, like, I wouldn't say that like I've reached the peak of how I can be. I'd just say I'm very, very close to it.
Heads, shoulders, knees and toes. Knees and toes.
Go for the eye.
Heads, shoulders, knees and toes. Knees and toes. Heads, shoulders, knees and toes. Knees and toes.
That kid's got no idea.
Some of them are getting it.
Heads,
shoulders,
shoulders,
knees, toes. Right?
This may get very frustrating.
X. Toes. Heads. Shoulders. Knees. And toes. Knees and toes. Heads. Shoulders. Knees and toes. Knees and toes. Heads. Shoulders. Knees and toes. Knees and toes.
I think Declan's definitely for the junior years.
juniors. Just singing head.
Look at all the pretty kids!
It'd be really fun to play with them
Yeah.
around. Like, it'd be really fun to play with those guys.
I think you'd be teaching through playing with them though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He's Australia as well.
Barely.
No, Philippines. Philippines. ASEAN. We're brothers. Never mind. you later.
I want to play my card properly as well.
You know what's saying?
Based on my time here, it seems as though we're here on the invitation of people to actually teach English. So the question becomes one of like whether language can be like a conduit through which you can connect to other cultures without disconnecting yourself from your own.
We're not teaching them English because we want them to have a level of English which allows us to, make business deals with them. That's not what we're doing. We're teaching them English because they want to learn English. And some of them probably want to learn English because the government says they should. Some of them probably want to learn English because they want to go to university. Some of them probably want to learn English because they want to be in a career where English would be very advantageous to them.
Is that the result of their own volition, or because they have been coerced by an increasingly globalized society where you either learn English or you become ostracized as a consequence?
Well, there's a couple of things in the question.
Yes.
First is the suggestion that a globalized society is like the concept of coercion. Like if you're asking if society wasn't as globalized, would they still want to learn English?
Yes.
If that's the question, well then probably not. But the reality is that society is globalized for a whole range of different factors. But I think their desire to learn English is to a great extent a result of globalization. But also, the alleviation of a lot of poverty is to a large extent a consequence of globalization. Better education is also a result, or to a large extent a result of globalization.
I suppose the reason we teach them English is so that they can at least have their opportunities broadened, so that they can exercise their autonomy further. You work either as like a laborer or as a farmer, stuff like that. If there's somebody who wants to do something else that requires, something less labor-based than that, then we're broadening their opportunities.
So you think they have to know English to get a job that's mentally stimulating?
No. I think that it broadens the chances for them to do it.
Oh, you're on 80%, aren't you? 75. See, I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to say it's with an ER. Is it? Or is it with an A?
It's not infer.
Yeah, infa. It's F-A, so I did spell it right.
No, F-R-A.
It is. Fuck! I missed it.
Infrastructure.
Infrastructure. Yeah. Yeah. The road's pretty good. Just kind of follow
Western imperialism.
You want to bow?
Huh?
You want to bow?
Do you want to bow?
Yeah, it's like the Buddha or some shit.
Since you speak English, do you think that your opportunities are much bigger? You have more opportunity in university later on in life?
English language is a national language, right? So in the future, it's very important to find a job, because some job interview us in English. Yes, and I have friends from another country, so they can speak Thai or like so to know them. So I want to talk with them, so yeah.
Just go.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Fuck! Janice! Janice, you were so dumb. What did he do? He had no idea how deep it was. He dived, he didn't put his arms out, he just went like getting twisted and went head first.
Oh man.
So I know that my Thai is not good enough for me to engage with elementary 2 and elementary 3. It's hard because there's a class of 15 or 16 kids. So if I go up and I sit next to, especially with the girls, if I sit down in front of them and go, "Hi, how are you?" They just fucking giggle and then don't respond.
Yeah.
So it's...
Well, like...
I think I need a level of Thai where I can explain to them,
Stop giggling.
This is what I'm about to do. You need to participate so I can know where you're at English. Letter. P. O. D. That was a shit guess. B. R. Who is John's sister? So, John Pisau Ben Kai. John Pisau Ben Kai. Who is John's sister?
Will. Oh. My name's Lorenzo.
Oh, and Jerry.
And Jerry?
I'm a Jerry. Never heard that one before. Literally never.
How have you found the first couple of weeks here so far?
Really boring.
Mm-hmm.
Missing certain people at home.
A year's a pretty long time.
Yeah. Some people think it's a bad idea coming up to a rural village and trying to teach them English when they have such a long history of their own culture.
Why do they think it's a bad idea?
Because they think we're disturbing the culture.
Đúng rồi, dốt ra này, đúng rồi.
Okay, I'm not gonna put any of this footage in the documentary because lest you want to run the risk of looking like a hick. Because with the hat and with the shirt buttoned like down, you really look like a hick. It's not a good look, Vlach. You might.
Hugo, how would you like to be known while I make this documentary? As Hugo.
As Hugo, that'd be good, yeah.
In Aboriginal culture in Australia, there's a very strong value from learning about your culture's history, for instance, learning stories from your elders in the original language in which those stories were told. What do you think is the relationship between language and culture?
Oh, jeez. Well, it used to be very strong. I think it still is strong to an extent, but I think that changes depending on what country. So with most countries that speak English, it's not overly there. Like our culture is not because we speak, or some of it is. Our culture is partly because we were colonized by England, but I don't feel that language is an inherent part of our culture. Whereas somewhere where like Thailand or Vietnam or any of those countries that they're the only nation that speaks their language, I think that's much stronger.
If English becomes predominant, that means they have less and less opportunity to speak Korean.
เริ่มเลย
Cái gọi là khu này nhỉ?
Ê, chàng ha, ghi.นั่นลงให้เรียบร้อย
Bao em mới cả.
Thôi, phệ rồi.
Con này bài chưa? Là gì? Mà lo ra đấy.
Bang, itu plan itu pada kali itu pada.
Đôi thôi mà. Đôi thôi nhỏ xoay vào. Đôi thôi
I fell and crashed after I was on my motorbike.
How'd you manage that?
I was going and I used the rear brake and it was a sharp turn and I was going too fast, so the bike just went phew. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Where are you injured?
On like this right here.
Oh. Yikes. Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Look at this. This is people from all of the previous years writing their name down. Here. From 2012 to 2014. As you can see, I tried when I got here to make a little mark for 2015 in red, but I didn't get around to doing it. So when I feel like I have made a substantial contribution, I will etch my name in stone. I what? No, I. Okay, so to me, what would you do? I what? Yeah, I am. That'll do. You are. He is. She is. It is. We are. You are. They are. I am. You are.
So the correct answer, I assume, is Dear John, I wish you a good luck through year long and Happy New Year.
I don't know.
Or alternatively, it could be Dear John, I miss you through year long and Happy New Year. Or be my Valentine through year long.
Wait, so who wrote this?
Can you imagine?
This is the English text.
But like, who writes the English test?
The king.
The teacher says to Dan, be quiet. What should Dan do? A, sing songs.
Yes.
B, make a loud noise.
What's
C and D?
They'll probably be like, yeah, sing a song.
Stop talking and speak to his friends.
So, in the beginning, in the northern part of Thailand where we are here, it's called Lanna Kingdom, the Lanna Kingdom. And the Lanna Kingdom is not part of Thailand, it's not part of Siam as a kingdom. They are separated. And at times, the Karen people live both sides of the river. They live both sides of the river. The river never be the division of people, it's a kind of meeting point. Therefore, the northern Thai kingdom, they don't want the colonial power to take over, so they divide the country according to the river. So at that times, the Karen people have to live both sides of the river, so they become two people in two countries. In terms of the law, we are equal in Thailand, but in terms of the reality, the ethnic people, the Hill tribe people, the Karen people, they have been always in the lower part of the society because they live in the forest. There's a lot of deforestation here in Thailand, but the Karen people, they live in the forest. They live in the mountain.
Dima. Okay? Okay? Ni, che, fe. Okay. The chair. The chair. Dima. Okay, house.
House.
Right? Okay.
If the kids are outside playing, I will not. I just won't teach. I'll go out and just play marbles with them instead, or play soccer with them, because I don't feel the need to force these kids into a classroom to learn something when they're not really keen on learning anyway.
Yeah.
And it's much more fun to just play with them. So, I think teaching's good because it's pretty fun. Just because it's really fun teaching basic English and stuff. And it's very exciting when they understand something. As you witnessed in my vision of teaching the verb to be, I got really excited when they understood it. Admittedly, they forgot it the next lesson.
Rất bên nì, tôi nì.
Mà trai.
Trai,
Mà trai, mà trai.
tôi nì.
Mà trai. Mà trai. Mà trai. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Got me on a run. Oh my goodness. Thanks. You might not lose. We probably will lose. Seems like a fair trade.
I don't think we're in any way coming here and taking away their cultural identity.
But do you think that we're enhancing it by being here?
Enhancing their cultural identity.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I think if none of them learn English, it's actually an interesting question.
Well, perhaps enhancing the expression of the culture. Maybe we're not obviously adding to the culture at all. Us being here doesn't make them more Korean.
That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. I'm talking about Westerners with so much higher living standards saying to people or saying about people with much lower living standards, look, just like accept what you've got, preserve your cultural identity. I just don't think we're in a position to make that judgment.
Don't pour alcohol on it. Don't. I saw somebody shared, one of those Greenpeace things, like somebody's doing something in Sumatra. I'm gonna share it on Facebook.
Yeah.
So how pathetic. I just find that very pathetic because obviously it doesn't do anything. And I realised how little, like all the native tribes and all these like Thai people, like all the people in Southeast Asia, they just don't care
about
like just their environment. I found out the other day that when there used to be tigers around here, the Korean used to kill them and eat them.
Yeah, that's what we use it. We use that for water to shower ourselves on. That would be fine.
Oh no, there's going to be some sort of debris in there.
I don't want ash in my pit.
Oh shit. Embers.
Oh, I'd like that. Oh, that's it's so dark now. That was kind of cool.
Hugo, you're going back to Sydney on Monday.
Yes, I am.
Why?
Because I need treatment for an ongoing back and neck problem that I've suffered since year 9.
So how many years is that since year 9?
Happened in 2011, so this makes it 4.
4 years.
Going on 4 in July, yeah.
Why'd you get this back problem?
I was playing rugby and I got hit on the back of the neck and my neck went down into my body like that. And it caused a whole host of problems.
What's the chance of you coming back?
I don't know, 60-40?
Do you feel bad about not having been able to say goodbye to the students you taught? In case you don't come back?
In case I don't come back. Yeah, well now, thanks for mentioning that. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, well now I do. Thanks. But yeah, I mean, I'll do everything I can to get back.
4-1 ซึ่งเดินทางมาจากสมุยได้มาถึงท่าอากาศยานเชียงใหม่แล้วขอบคุณค่ะ Attention please arrival of Bangkok Airways
ข้อตีอย่าไปตอบข้อสายข้อตีอย่าภาษาที่จ่อพี่สายถึงมันป่าอักษรจีวนมาข้อตีเนี่ยอันนี้แบบพี่ชอโรเนี่ยอันนี้แบบพี่ชอโรบุเดเลยอันนี้แฮกก็จ่ออันนี้ปานาพี่เนี่ยซีเลยเนี่ยอันนี้แฮกก็จ่อชอเลยนั่นเลย
I brought in these occupation cards to school one day, I think it was for year 5. And so what's on the card is it's just got a little picture on the front and then it's got the English word of the occupation. So like engineer, soldier, banker. And then it's got the translation phonetically in Thai and it's got the Thai translation for the word. And then on the back there's just like something that an engineer would use or something that a football player would use. So like ball, boots, football pitch, teammates, something like that. And all of the kids were really excited when I brought the cards in because they all wanted to kind of grab the profession that, I don't know, that interested them or that sounded interesting. And after the cards had gone around a couple of times, I had a couple of spare cards up on the desk, so once they'd finished like copying down the card and drawing the picture and stuff, they'd come up, they'd grab a new card and they'd sit back down. And I had this one kid. He came up and what was on the table, I think it was like reporter, teacher, vet, astronaut, farmer. So I don't know. I think personally, as a year 4 kid, I would have gone straight for the astronaut, and that's what he did. He picked up astronaut and he looked at it. He turned it over. He kind of read what was on the back: spaceship, spacesuit, helmet, things like that. And then he picked up the farmer card, and he's like, his brow kind of crinkles. He's really thinking about it, and in the end, he nods as if he's like made the right choice, and he puts down the astronaut card and pretty happily takes back the farmer card to his desk and copies it down. And I thought it was pretty funny that I don't know, a kid in year 5 was tossing up between an astronaut and a farmer, and was pretty happy with himself that he was able to, you know, pick the farmer one.
The Korean people, they live in Thailand. They don't speak the same accent as the Central Thai people, and they feel very inferior. This kind of minority and also the inferior complex is there. But I believe that when they speak English, you overcome that kind of language boundary of suppression. You feel a little bit more free.
Nè. Cô nào. Dài mày.
When your culture is very small, you need to accumulate, or you need to learn more kind of way of life. Even though conversion or religion conversion from the Korean people to Buddhism or to Catholic to Protestants, it is a way of being more than what you are, no? More than what a limited cultural people. Their voice will never be heard if they cannot speak English or they cannot speak Thai properly. If they speak English and they can work for their own society, the international will hear them also.
Do you think that the more that English is spread, that the more the Korean culture slowly disappears?
Partly yes, but you know, maybe the Korean people have been living as long as human beings also, but they're still there. Why we are so worried about disappearing? If we are worried about disappearing, it means that we are stagnant, we are static. But culture is alive. It has to grow, it has to adapt, it has to get anew, you know. So if we thought that, oh, we have to preserve culture, actually you have to develop them. Preserving is develop, it's not preserving, just keep them like in the museum. The museum is, you cannot starve any culture that they can live there. Why not just accumulate more kind of culture so you become more person, more being, and maybe you can live with other people in the world more peacefully.
Maria
Cha Yesu mo ni sa le corona le nata papu le pa le mu ko ba mu da mu da khia pu ni ke ka cha sa ga nyo pa ke Mo Maria de Jabuya Sala de Poyesu Ata Plo Joshi ke Ga me te vera e amo sa
Baca. Satu dan kita.
Huh? Never mind. You seem pretty unimpressed.
No, I don't mind this because the rest of them, as I said before, the rest of them I learned.
Oh, they were learning. Some of them are just malicious. Like one of them will just get scissors, and if you're not looking, go and like start chopping. And then yeah, as I said, the kindergarten kids just kept on trying to punch me in the balls. It's only like really young kids that.
Oh, the kids are the worst. The year 7s this year will be good. The year 8s will continue being. The girls are really flirty. It's really gross because they're like 12.
Bé kia đâu vậy?
Time is it?
Dạ.
9:14.
Give it here. Let me try it.
Imagine living by the train. Never sleep.
Let's pause this for a sec. Look at this. Okay, it's a Kickstarter campaign that I saw that barely got anything out of its $30,000 goal. And listen to this description. Point at me. I don't want them seeing the screen the whole time. Teens from the inner city of Atlanta are changed forever as they serve orphans in the slums of Kenya.
You're gonna drop it.
No, Callum, just hold. Let it loosen. Let go. Literally let go of it. You have a strap for a reason. Yeah, and pick up the beer with your left hand and drink while it's still filming. It's fine.
Hang on, 1 sec. Could I say that perhaps every time you read things like this or find volunteers, you assume the worst and you assume that their motives are entirely selfish and just to feel good. But even when you're doing exactly the same thing, you assume the exact opposite. You assume that your motives are the highest, the most noble. But in reality, there's no difference.
Talk slowly.
The woman that I was with today is with a German company that is bringing German primary school teachers about 24, 25 years old with a year's experience and teaching degrees.
Females?
Some of them. I assume.
German women?
And they've been learning Thai for 6 months. So they're better teachers than us and probably have more Thai than us.
Smart German women! Oh, I'm not leaving.
They've also learned English as a second language. Like, they're good at English, but they've learned it as a second language, which probably makes them better equipped to teach it as a second language. No. The lady I was with went into my first class, and I came out of my first class, and it was a good class because there was 2 of them, and they knew Thai, so they were basically like teaching assistants. So it was actually a pretty good class. They were fairly well behaved, and I had 2 people to help me. But then I came out of the class, and the first thing she says to me is, "Are you okay?" Because apparently that was so much worse than anything they ever experienced in Chiang Mai. And she said that supposedly, because like they're always shouting stuff in Thai and Korean, supposedly what they're shouting is, "I don't want to learn, I don't want to learn." So, yeah. Get up. Ai. There right? E. Mouth. Nose. What about the whole thing? Head. Head.
Is this how they normally are?
This is closer to normal. Good, Jamal. Okay. There, right? Hen. 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 What's it tied? Baka. Good. Hen. Go away. It does sometimes seem like the teaching isn't having a massive impact. How does that make you feel? It's a bit frustrating. I think because I find the teaching a bit boring. Well, it's sometimes boring, sometimes it's just kind of annoying when they're not behaving. And I think the combination of not enjoying it that much means that when it does feel like it's not having much of an impact, it just kind of feels a bit pointless. Like if I'm not enjoying it and it doesn't seem to be having an impact, I kind of think, what am I doing here?
Like from my time here, I've come to realise I don't think it's right being overseas doing this sort of thing when you could be doing it back home.
Is there a better use for charitable resources than giving Korean kids white friends? Obviously that paints in a negative light, but...
Got a lower center of gravity, not there. Yes! Oh my god! Okay.
Okay, put near right. Chu ropa, but put alright. Ba. Ba, mai. Mai. Try mai. Okay. So, ภาษาอังกฤษ ni, ba. Okay? Okay? So, ba. I don't think these people even know the Thai letters, so it's pretty impossible. Ear. Rabbi ear, Kunru ear. Alright. Alright ear. My chai. Knee, chu hair. Okay, Rajai. Jammu. Alright, pass. Okay, near right. No, my chai. Mouth. Okay. I di mak. Ni I. Ni. No. Ear. Okay. I started something light for my sake as much as the others today. Role play. Okay. Bahasa Anggris role play. Sing. Kun put sing. Sing. Okay, Jima. Near right. No football time.
So is it like 10 minutes of teaching better than usual?
I'm actually really surprised. I wasn't expecting to get this much teaching time done. But still, it's fine.
What's it usually like?
Closer to 1 minute of teaching.
I think I've contributed to anything. I can play with them, I can become their friend, but in the end, even if I was here for 12 months instead of 6, I'll be gone, I might come back.
What disappointed you the most?
I think probably from maybe the first month in, I just felt like a volunteerist the whole way through since then. Has just been that mindset that I'm not doing anything. This has become a bit of a waste of time for me. But I've been here. I'm not saying I haven't been here. I will probably put it on my resume just as everyone else that's ever done this will put on their resume saying, oh, I did this for 6 months because it looks good. I'll probably go back home and people are going to say, how was time? I was like, oh, I loved it. I'm not going to tell them how I felt about it. But yeah, it'd be emotion, would make me feel, would show.
Why wouldn't you tell them about it the way it was?
Oh, I came back 6 months early. I think that's embarrassing enough.
I'm like totally sympathetic for like someone like Noonan, who the problem like Noonan gets so much like flack from the people here for like going home early and for like TSing about it, and even though he's more vocal about his like disdain for this year, yeah, like there just comes a moment where you feel like it's all such bullshit being here. Like you're not actually like you're teaching kids who don't really give care. And then basically they say like people here try and like justify the fact that they're shit teachers by being like, oh, it's all about like making friends and, you know, connecting to the poor and solidarity, and you're just like, like solidarity for solidarity's sake doesn't really make much sense to me. There's just so many factors that make it so difficult, and right now I'm just beginning to feel like it suddenly dawned on me, you know, I was a bit naive at the start, to say the least.
Of course, you've got to have idealism.
Yeah. But yeah, this is. I don't know what to do anymore. Like instinctively, I just say let's fuck it. I just honestly just don't make the doco, and I'll try and survive the next 2 months. But then again, I'd feel like I was wasting my time even more probably if I didn't have any footage to show. This is you know, I'll probably keep shooting, in all honesty, but I'll continue to shoot the same way I have in the past.
You've got to do it to keep you sane.
Yeah, I just this place is just
So I am sad. I am sad. I am sad. I am sad. What else have we got? So, how are you? I am sleepy. I am sleepy.
There are times where you can see it having an impact. Like, for example, year one, I thought teaching year one was doing nothing, like they weren't learning anything. So there were 4 lessons in a row where I basically just repeated the same thing. I repeated stand up, sit down, listen, about 5 words. And I thought it was doing nothing at all. I was just trying to fill time. But then after about 5 lessons, I walked into class and they said it to me. Like they'd clearly, through brute repetition, they'd
How much time did
words.
it take you to teach them stand up and sit down? 4 lessons?
Yeah, about 2 hours.
For who? That one. So it's H. Is it mage? Or hi. So how do you pronounce this vowel?
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
If we meow.
Yeah. Oh, is that quiet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, so that's
Happy.
P and then the long one's B, is it?
Nhạc.
So it's by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Near the balls.
Nhạc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nhàng.
Nhàng.
Nhạc.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Yeah, nice. Bye, go.
And there are always two girls like that. Always two girls that are always just, they're switched on and they're confident, so they're happy to go up and do get the answers right.
Mm.
And they're always sitting there or they're sitting there. It's funny.
But do you think that overall that was an improvement?
That was an improvement. The lesson I think was communicated more clearly because I put the tie up on the board next to it, and then I was able to confirm that they knew that they kind of knew, or they had learned a level of it.
Do you think that we all do a good job teaching, or that there are some people who don't teach a lot?
I think it's not mean everybody good or bad, but they are good because something you don't need to work all the time.
Yeah.
You can work with personality, and sometimes when you play with
the kids,
student,
yeah,
you can use language, you can teach them fine that way.
Why you disappeared all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Why don't you explain it now?
Because they're not all in the classroom. It's much easier when they're all in the classroom. And I'm with Nick, so I can tell them all the
Is it going to be a written apology as well for your absence? I think they're demanding a written apology. So overall, how have you felt since you've gotten back to Thailand?
Oh, how have you gotten back? It's been great. As you can tell, my mood has been amazing. Tim, by now, is to Australia. And my grandfather's great. He is like, he's smashed possums in a bag against concrete. He put 2 possums in a bag and smashed them against concrete because they didn't go out of his house.
In Greece?
No. In Australia. I've got a mint mohawk at the moment.
Fresh cut. Are you going to go for something like that, Beth, when you cut your hair eventually?
Is it easier to go the other way, Hugo, like along the back?
Yes, it is. Good call, Declan.
You like how the pig's evaporating as you
Evaporating?
right before I'm
Lorenzo, do you want to get into any of this?
No, I'd rather just capture the moment, you know?
He wants to capture it, he doesn't want to be in it.
Hey, Cam, I'll pay you 100 baht if you lick the pig.
I'd do it for $100. Oh.
Lick it.
I'd do it for $100.
I'd be
like
I mean, give me 200 baht and I'd do it.
Like a nice lick, like something, you know,
like a big lump.
Like one end to the other.
No, but
one end to the
head
other,
to arse.
The power learn the gala for that 2 more right now. The gala no mi mo mi gia có số cầm a chết so ai bao nhiêu lần nữa là tứ là tôi có là chỗ cái xin luôn này. Chung à cái ta man lên rồi là quý lớp bắt đầu mua có gì à? Và sao với mình chung lót thì lót trên nó ta lớp qua nhỏ cái này với bà tầm bạc mà nán lớp qua cứ lừa ra xin phần nhiều tại đi đuổi chữ này bởi chôm một khóa cái lơ gọi mình lẽ nên người ta mới lơบอกเราซะเปิดใจซะจะอะไรมาดูผู้ตื่นแต่งคนไหนบอกเปิดใจยังไม่พอครับ
There we go.
Why not?
And the Thai people, they think maybe the few Thai people are very dirty, very poor. They don't want to communicate a lot with us.
So they used to not like the Karen people.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's the same today, or it's changed a lot?
Cannot change. Their mind cannot change. We are Karen, but we are human. We are not animal. Our kids' generation and future. Somebody they want to reach, they want to have a house, they want to have everything. They will forget something like the basics from the parent, I think. You should not fight with anybody. You have to do the way that you can do. You should not hate somebody who can do more than you.
Do you think that one day in the future, it will reach the stage where Karen people just say, I'm Thai, and they won't say that they're Karen anymore?
No, we will not say like that. We are Thai Karen.
Thai Karen.
You're actually tearing up the ground, though, Cal. Be careful where you step. Spinning around.
Lorenzo, can you do this bit here?
I can do this area around here.
That bit there.
Horse good.
I know the camera's on. Falling over is like.
Yeah, I'm waiting for someone to fall over.
No one falls over and then you're going to take that one to the team.
Alright.
By the team, I mean the document.
Because if you fall over, the audience will lose their faith in you as an authentic storyteller.
No, if anything, it'll reinforce his authenticity because he's not afraid to put himself in a bad light. True. Unless the camera's picking all this conversation. Yeah.
Okay.
You want to ride back and I'll go with Jan?
Sure.
Oh, I was thinking you were going to...
Wait, one second.
5.
Chưa đấy.
4.
Not now.
3.
Shut up.
2.
Zoom mày đấy.
Okay, back.
Okay, so we put axe,
Axe.
bolts,
Bolts.
drill,
Drill.
hammer,
Hammer.
mallet,
Mallet.
saw,
Saw.
wrench,
Wrench.
bucket,
Bucket.
pickaxe,
Pickaxe.
hose.
Hose.
Hammer.
Cái tên nó thì ta chỉ cần tăng sao? Ui một cái tên nữa nên Nide buồn ba để nó đi khí vào. Thank you very much.
Very much.
Anh nói cho anh chắc là cái nó cái lắc tay của nhau. Ô, chị điện lên cái gì rồi?
Okay, what am I teaching them? I will be teaching them.
Where do they sit?
Normally I get them to copy stuff out. So like I write it here because because there's no blackboard at the front. But actually no. Okay, Tina, Tina.
Có thập bữa đấy khác à? Là thập bữa quan này để cho nó bữa là nó mở bữa vậy. Tôi nó để thập bữa. Một lần rồi nó cũng được vào rồi đó vậy. Carabao.
Barrow. Hey, Dimak.
Barrow.
Dimak.
Đây là cái hồi là xong xả rồi.
Hello? You are. Yeah, I'm sure. Hey, go from top.
Nộp. Đi đi đấy.
Would you acknowledge that you're changing at least some kids' lives by being here?
I hope so, but I can't answer that for certain. I think if I said yeah, for sure, I'd just be lying to myself.
missed it. I don't know if that's the first or neutral. So that's neutral. Then we have to keep the rev on. Yep, so it jumps forward. Pim? Joe.
Good. Yes. Sabadi.
I am
good. I am good. Sabadi.
I am good.
I am good. I am good. I am good.
One more, Pim.
Let's say you had volunteerists that say come in, they play games with the kids, they give them lots of toys and everything, and then they leave. Yeah. Maybe that would be emotionally scarring because like taking like poor African kid, bringing him to Sydney, has a week of a great time in Sydney, and then you send him back to Africa. And that's horrible because now we've seen what he could have, but he doesn't get it.
ขอบคุณด้วยนะหมดเลยครับเก่งมากครับเก่งมากเด็กๆก็ไม่สุขสนแล้วทุกคนชอบมาเย้เย้เย้เย้เย้เย้เย้สถานขอให้ยิ้มกันทุกคนนะครับขอให้ยิ้มกันทุกคนนะครับไก่ไปก้าไก่ก้ายิ้มดูหน้ากล้องนั่นบอลกล้องเนี่ยบอลก่อน
You didn't say our documentary.
Did you just call it our documentary?
I think I inadvertently called it our documentary.
Really, like, I'm sorry. Is your name gonna appear on the credits?
Probably.
Yeah, as like
actor. No, all right. There's 6 of us, and he doesn't count because he's in it. So we'll just do the opening title of Friends. You know, we got a fountain, we got a chair, we got a couch. It's there. That's what we can do. The opening title of Friends.
I'm not gonna pay licensing for that song, so don't sing all of it.
Diesel.
Diesel.
Yeah, Hawk Roy. Oh yeah, cut off. Hawk Roy.
Hawk Roy.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, try Hawk Roy. Yeah, my uncle's East Timorese, and he came from East Timor, and he's married my mum's sister, and they live in Port Macquarie now. So when he was a little younger, he was doing a bit of social justice work in East Timor, and he developed quite a strong relationship with this one guy, and he taught him a little bit of English, a little bit of agricultural stuff. But I think he said the biggest influence he had on him was he opened this guy's mind up to different possibilities outside. So he kind of, I guess, infused a little bit of ambition into this guy, and he thought nothing of it at the time. And when he when he came back a couple of years later to follow up and just kind of he was revisiting his old community and things like that. He asked the people that knew his friend.
The one who he opened the eyes of.
Yeah, opened the eyes of a little bit. He asked the people if they knew his friend, and they said, he's gone to Australia. And my uncle's like, oh, okay, that's good, I guess. That's interesting. But turns out what happened was he'd left his wife and kids behind at East Timor, and I think he wasn't really in contact with them much, if at all. I'm not entirely sure of this, but the gist of the story was that he'd opened this guy up a little bit, and this guy's ambition had actually taken him out of his own culture and his own community which he was in. And according to my uncle, he was very, very happy. Like, he was a very good husband and he was a very good father and stuff. But I don't know, the knowledge of there being something better, or maybe not better, but something different out there, kind of interested this guy, and he ended up, leaving his family to go and pursue that. And so I think my uncle told this to me just a couple of days before I left, actually, and it was kind of funny to set me off on this trip. But I think the point that he was making was that he kind of always tussled with that himself, because he felt so guilty, because on one hand he felt as though he'd, I don't know, very, very dramatic, but like he tore a family apart. But on the other hand, I don't know, he kind of felt that maybe this guy would have gone and done that anyway, and my uncle was just merely an enabler to that happening. So I just thought that was interesting coming here, because at the time I wasn't really sure if what we were doing was right, or if what we were doing was helpful, and I kind of feared maybe that the English that we taught might provide someone with the means to go down out of the community, out of Hoi Tong, and maybe leave behind their community, or leave behind, the place where they grew up, which I just kind of thought, to me, felt like a bad thing, but I hadn't really reconciled that at all. I don't think I still have.
Come here under the pretense that, we're teaching them English, doing great stuff, that sort of thing. Honestly, in a year's time, I'm going to forget all the kids' names, all the kids are going to forget me, and then we're all just going to forget each other, if you know what I mean. Maybe it's because I don't feel like I'm learning anything from being here, and maybe it's because I don't get the sense that anyone I teach is really learning much from me.
Yeah, I feel the same way, but I also feel like I could be developing an awareness in a more subtle way of the different worldviews and different livelihoods of other people in a more, in a less intellectual way, and a more
emotional way sort of thing. So, but what's the point?
Emotional, like real way, having a real experience of it.
But what's the point of really doing that at the end of the day if I mean, most of the kids I teach are just gonna grow up to be like chain-smoking farmers. I feel like we get more than the kids, and I think that we try and justify it being like we're teaching them good English, because I wouldn't say that we are.
Why is us getting more than the kids necessarily a bad thing?
Like, at least for me, it's hard to have a conversation with someone that you can barely cross the language.
But you still do have interactions with them, and maybe if you stayed for the full year and learned some more language, you would have conversations with people.
I'm not willing to waste another 6 months of my life. It's not even going to be that good a friendship, probably. It's going to be a friendship that just ends after the year.
True, but you can still learn a lot from that. Do you not get the impression that any of the children are gaining? Like, for instance, when I go to my school, a lot of the children, like, even if they might not want me to teach them English, they enjoy having me here. They like, I don't know, trying to talk to me in Thai, and they like playing soccer with me. They, like, the year 1 kid loves when he just gives me books and he points to words and I read out the words in English. They enjoy that. So they get something out of me being there.
Yeah.
Even if they might, at that point, not really want to learn English from me that much.
Mm-hmm. I'm not really here to just come and smile at kids and have them smile back at me and tug on my arm and carry them or something like that.
But is that perhaps not so much that you think that adds nothing? Could it be more that you don't enjoy that much? You personally don't get that much joy out of it?
Yes, probably.
Because I think that's the same for me. I can still see some value that I'm bringing, but I don't find it that interesting playing soccer with the kids. I don't find it that interesting.
Yeah, I think, as I said, it depends.
So I don't enjoy it that much, but I can still see the value that it brings.
I think I've just become a hardened cynic. I don't think I can give much to the community if I'm not enjoying it.
So your lack of enjoyment would be worth it if it was achieving, like if you were bringing great value to the community.
Which I don't really see that as being the case. Because I think that, I mean, it can be very easy to, in blanket terms, be like, yeah, we've come and we've shown them, like, that a white person cares and loves them. But like to be like, oh, I'm gonna make friends with a few kids and all, I feel like that's, you know, it doesn't energize me the same way that teaching like 100 students to like a good grasp of the English language in the hope that they'll get a job. That sort of thing like fills me with more happiness than just like, oh, like reading a few words to a kid and being like, oh, I guess this is good. I guess.
Yeah, I'd agree with you in that I think I personally would feel the same way. But there are other ways that you can contribute to people's lives in a greater way that you would enjoy more.
The way that this program, this organization was marketed to us was that, you know, you're going to make a significant difference, that the scores in these schools have increased drastically because of our presence there. That sort of thing, like you're really doing, like you're going to be really like leaving a mark in that you're going to be really like turning these schools from terrible places into decent places. But as we both know, the schools here aren't all that bad. Like they're pretty well staffed, they're pretty well run, and I feel that like the communities that we're teaching, maybe it's that, as I said, we're not really improving them much because there's other communities out there which probably need a bit more improving than just like, I mean, I really don't have much, I don't want to teach a kid, like just read out to a kid in year 1, like that's apple, that's banana, and have him laugh and clap a bit, and then not really absorb that information, versus a kid who is struggling to feed himself, struggling to feed his family, and knowing that if he learns English, he might be able to get a white-collar job working in an office that will actually be able to feed everyone. That sort of like circumstance energizes me more.
Quite an unrealistic white saviour comes into poor community and lifts it and inspires it out of poverty scenario. People often talk about doing things for the poor, but they don't often talk about doing things with the poor. What's more important is not doing things for them, but developing relationships with them.
It's not about that white saviour thing. It's about
solidarity.
Yeah, and becoming more aware of people who are less well off than you, and being not as insulated. That's what I think it's about, and that's the impression I've always got. Personally, I don't enjoy that as much, but I can see its value. I think you personally also don't enjoy that as much, but I think that since you don't enjoy it, you're looking for reasons not to see its value.